Very good day to all of you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Econ-Hub mock exam series, the fourth mock exam answer discussion session. So we are going to start as always with the multiple choice paper and look at each question, and then certain key things that I would want to highlight in the second paper. We will focus on that. So let's start the discussion. I'll bring the mock exam MCQ paper on screen, and then we'll get going. Right. Hopefully you can see the MCQ paper now. Yes. Right. Okay. So question one. The economic problem exists because the economic problem is fundamental, basically the relative scarcity of resources and how we need to allocate those relatively scarce resources. Relative scarcity is the central problem in economics. So the correct answer would be number 5. Economic resources are scarce and have alternative uses. Number 2 also talks about economic resources being scarce, but just because economic resources are scarce, we might not face an allocation choice, we might not face an unavoidable choice, and we might not need that might not lead to opportunity cost. So if we are to select the most appropriate answer, then that would be number 5. Okay. Question number 2. Which combination of variables are related to the study of microeconomics? Microeconomics. Consumer demand is microeconomics because it's a demand for a particular good. Then we have inflation is macro. Gross domestic investment is macro. Average variable cost is micro. We can only talk about average variable cost with regards to a given firm or a given production process. Aggregate supply is macro. Labor force participation rate is macro. So answer that has A and D. That would be answer 3. A free good indicates which one out of the following characteristics? A free good. I think answer 4 is a straightforward answer. It has no opportunity cost in supply. Question 4. Which of the following is an immediate situation? Okay. As always, if there is any option that you want me to explain in a bit more detail, then let me know. Okay. Most of these answers, when the answer is very straightforward, I'm going to move on. Question number 4. Which of the following is an immediate situation which essentially arises due to the limitedness of resources and alternative uses of such resources? What I'm looking for here is the need to make a choice or face a trade-off. Opportunity cost is a result of making such choice. So immediately what happens is when you have scarce resources with alternative uses, what we saw in the first question also, is that choice becomes unavoidable, right? So answer number 3 would be the most appropriate answer there. Okay, hopefully that is the answer I have given also, right? When you have to make this or face this trade-off and make a choice, that is what leads to opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is a result of making a choice. Immediately you have to make a choice. Number 5, assume a production possibility curve that is concave to the origin. Concave to the origin. What does a downwards movement along such a curve indicate? Identify the most accurate answer. Concave to the origin meaning it's increasing opportunity cost. So when you go downwards along a production possibility frontier with increasing opportunity cost, a reduction in the production of one good and increase in the production of the other good, which will happen, but that doesn't explain the concave nature. It only talks about having an opportunity cost. Along the number option 2, along with downwards movement, the productive efficiency shall diminish. We assume the economy will be at productive efficiency anywhere on the production possibility frontier. The movement is along the curve. There is an opportunity cost involved in production, true, but it doesn't explain the concave nature. The number of units of one good that has to be sacrificed to produce a unit of the other good gradually increases, which is true. That is increasing opportunity cost. The marginal opportunity cost may change when moving downwards along the concave production possibility curve. Yes, marginal opportunity cost changes, but it increases. That is not there. It only talks about a change. A change could be an increase or a decrease. Correct answer, question 5, number 4. Question 6, you are given a concave production possibility frontier where two products are being produced, consumer goods, capital goods. We have the point of origin there. Consumer goods, the movement is from A to B. Okay. And the movement, and there's a movement from A to B, which seems to indicate that output of both consumer and capital goods are increasing. Both consumer and capital goods are increasing. The above movement from combination A towards combination B is a possible result of which of the following economic developments? Recovering from an inflationary output gap. An inflationary output gap is where the point would be outside the PPF and the arrow would be pointing towards the PPF from a point outside the PPF. So inflationary output, recovering from an inflationary output gap is where basically you come to the point where your actual output equals potential output. So in that case, it should be something of this nature that we should see. Get it? Right. Then recovery from an economic downturn is most possible, that is most accurate, because with a when we are in a downturn, we will be at point A. If you are recovering, then we'll start moving towards the production possibility frontier. So that should be correct. The presence of general unemployment means we will be at point A. We will not be moving towards point B. The impact of negative output gap, again, we will be at point A and we will show the gap with a bracket between A and B. We will indicate it's something like this. This is negative output gap. Is that clear? What is indicated with number 4? Negative output gap. Okay. Improvement in the state of production technology, the curve will shift outwards. It's not a movement of a point. So correct answer number 2. Each economic system is based on a unique framework comprising of which are the following? There are 3 fundamental elements that should be there in this framework. So legal, incentive, structure of not governance. Households, enterprise, those are the economic agents. Legal, incentive, structure of, yep. So number 1, legal. Number 2, incentives. Number 3 encompasses 3 things, 3 of 3. Traditions, customs, cultural elements. So these are the 3 elements that need to be there in the unique framework that is special or unique to each economic system. So therefore, we go for answer number 3. 8. When economic systems are classified as capitalist and socialist, the main basis used tends to be which of the following? Capitalist socialist, the main basis would be ownership of property resources and their rights. Answer number 3. Answer number 3. If it's traditional market and command, that would be mechanism of resource allocation or how they solve their basic economic problems. Question number 9. The assumption made when constructing a demand curve is. The assumption made when constructing a demand curve. Okay. So fundamental assumption we make when constructing a demand curve is other factors other than price remain constant. Factors other than price remain constant. So what is the correct answer in a given period of time? Number 5. Factors other than price of the product held constant within the given period of time. Question 10. The market supply curve for some goods or services would shift to the left when? Market supply curve for some goods and services would shift to the left when? Okay. The market supply curve would shift to the left. Leftward shift meaning decrease in supply. So it should be, first of all, other factors affecting supply because we are talking about a shift. And then leftwards meaning the supply is decreasing. So technology improves, rightward shift, the price of production substitutes fall and complements rise. Price of production substitutes, it's our main focus. When the price of production substitutes fall, right, the supply of the given product will increase. So that's wrong. Price of inputs increase. Yes, that's correct because cost of production will increase. Cost of production will increase. That should be the correct answer. Question 11. Which of the following will cause the demand curve for a durable consumer good to shift to the left? Durable consumer good to shift to the left. Which of the following will cause the demand curve for a durable consumer good to shift to the left? Okay. Leftward. So first of all, again, it's a shift. Other factors then affecting demand. Left meaning it's a decrease in demand. What will cause a decrease in demand for a consumer good? The correct answer would be number 5, an expectation of future price decline. We would buy less now because the price is expected to decrease in the future. Price is expected to decrease in the future. Right. Question 12. The price elasticity of demand for fish buns is -3. When the price of a fish bun is rupees 25, quantity demanded is 300 buns. How much will be demanded when price falls to rupees 20? When the price falls to rupees 20. Okay. So we know that price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. So this is -3. Okay, this is -3. Percentage change in quantity demanded is what we need to find, right? I think we can find the percentage change in price. So the percentage change in price, okay, would be price goes from 25 to 20. So that's a change of -5 decrease. Original value was 25 into 100. So this would mean price has changed by 20%. Okay, we are clear there? Price has changed by 20%. Okay. And then we bring that -20 here. Okay. So if we cross this over, we will have -3 into -20% equals the percentage change in quantity demanded. So this will give us +60 equals percentage change in quantity demanded. So the quantity demanded is expected to change by 60%. 60%. So basically, it's a plus 60 increase. Price is decreasing anyway. So what we do is we take 300 and add 60%. Add because increase 60% of 300. Is that clear? So 60% of 300 would be 180. So 300, so 300 plus 180. So we get 480. Correct answer number 4. Okay, correct answer number 4. So in terms of steps, right? In terms of steps, we did this first. Okay, first step was this. And as a feed into this, because we wanted to find the percentage change in quantity demanded, we wrote this. Then we found the answer, and the third step was this. Okay. Right. Question number 13. You have two supply curves, S1, S2. S1 is clearly unitary elastic. S2 is elastic because it's intersecting the price axis on the positive side, and eventually it will intersect the quantity axis on the negative side. Got it? Right. So what do we know? S1 is unitary. So any answer that says it is not unitary is wrong. Then when elasticity coefficient when moving upwards along S2 supply curve, upwards along S2 supply curve means when price increases, quantity increases, PES coefficient value keeps decreasing, declines until it's closer to 1 neme. It should be above 1, right? Always elastic or above 1, but keeps decreasing. Declines, increases, gradually increase. Okay, let's see. No, sorry. Declines until it's closer to 1. Then declines until, yeah, that should be correct actually, the first answer. Right? It keeps decreasing until it becomes closer to 1, never becomes 1. Okay? Always more than 1, but the value keeps decreasing, never becomes 1. So there the correct answer would be number 1. Okay? Yes, number 1. Right. Then the table below shows how the business revenue changes with the change in the price of two products. Okay. Remember, what is given is not the percentage change in quantity demanded. What is given is the change in the revenue of the business. Okay. Revenue of the business. TR. Product A, product B. Price increases by 10%. The change in sales revenue is 5%. Now both are plus values. That means price increases, total revenue also increases. Positive relationship. So this has to be relatively inelastic demand. Inelastic. Okay, inelastic demand. Perfectly or relatively inelastic demand. Can't be perfectly, but if it's perfectly, when price increases by 10%, total revenue will also increase by 10%. So it can't be perfectly. It's relatively inelastic. Get it? B, increase in price is increasing. Quantity demand is decreasing by 10%. So this has to be, the negative relationship indicates elastic. So correct answer should be A, inelastic, B, elastic. A, inelastic, B, elastic. Answer number 3. Okay, if you remember that tool that was given to you in the toolbox discussion on this area, the relationship between change in price and change in total revenue. That's all you need to know. Quickly you can get to the answer. 15. Suppose X is an inferior good. X is an inferior good. and sold in a competitive market. X is an inferior good and sold in a competitive market. Assume other things remain constant in the market for X. What are the effects of a decrease in income of buyers on the demand, equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity in the market for X? Remember, it's an inferior good. It's a inferior good. So that means the relationship between income and demand is negative. So income is decreasing. Income is decreasing. Decrease in income. So if income decreases, basically what will happen is demand will increase. So we are looking at a situation where there is an increase in demand. Got it? If demand increases, we know that demand rule has told us, or we know that, right? We have learned very comprehensive tools. Demand relationship between equilibrium price is positive. Relationship between equilibrium quantity is positive. So increase, increase, increase. All three should be increase. Correct answer number 2. You can draw a diagram or you can use your tools that you have learned and easily apply. Change in demand, market demand has a positive relationship, equilibrium price and quantity. Change in market supply has a negative relationship with price and positive relationship with quantity. How we made it simple was, in the tool that you guys learned during the MCQ workshop, was demand and price positive, demand and equilibrium price positive relationship, supply and equilibrium price negative relationship. Then we learn demand and supply with quantity positive relationship. With quantity positive relationship. Question 16. Market demand and supply curve for a certain consumer good is represented by the following equations. QD equals 80 minus 2P, QS equals minus 20 plus 3P. Then the quantity and price at which the difference between QD and QS is 0. Difference between QD and QS means, right? QS is 0 means there is no excess demand. That is, excess demand is 0. Excess supply is 0. So basically we are looking for what is the equilibrium price, what is the equilibrium quantity. That is what I'm asking. So a simple calculation would do sigma A divided by sigma B, the shortcut method, remember. Sigma A, 80, this is minus, so you add. So that would be 100 divided by 2 plus 3, 5. You get 20. Equilibrium price should be 20. This is the formula to, or the shortcut method to get equilibrium price. No? Equilibrium price is 20. Then equilibrium quantity, you apply the price to one of these equations. So if you take to the demand equation, it will be 80 minus 2P. So 80 minus 2 into 20, that's 40. So equilibrium quantity is 40. Correct answer number 1 actually. Right? Done. 17. Question number 17. Suppose the demand for petrol is very inelastic and the supply is very elastic. The excise tax on petrol will be borne. So this is a distribution of tax burden question, very famous question actually, right? It's a very practical but very commonly used question. Now demanders are inelastic. Suppliers are elastic. So what is our simple rule? Whoever is more elastic will pay less of the tax burden. Whoever is inelastic will pay more of the tax burden. Greater the elasticity, lower the tax burden. Similarly, in the same token, we can say greater the elasticity, lower the subsidy benefit. Simple, one line to remember. So here demand is more inelastic, so they will pay more, and producers or the sellers will pay less, more heavily by buyers. Correct answer number 1. Okay. Question 18. The market condition with regards to a vaccination for a contagious disease, okay, a disease that is spreading very quickly, is illustrated in the diagram below. Okay. In order to control the spread of the disease, the government wants to increase the consumption of the vaccine. They want more people to get the vaccine from its current level of Q1 to Q4. They want to bring it to Q4 without directly acting as a supplier. Government doesn't want to get involved in the market, right? But they want to somehow influence the market to make sure, without doing any direct intervention, indirectly rather, they want to make sure the vaccine is consumed at the quantity of Q4 to control the spread of the disease. Which of the following measures is most suitable to attain? So basically, you have to move the demand, you have to move the supply curve to this point. That is point A, isn't it? Okay. Or you have to move the demand curve to point B. Demand curve to point B. These are the options government has. Right. So what would work? Providing price support in the amount of P2, P3. P2, P3 price support wouldn't do. Consumers are willing to buy Q4 or willing to go up to Q4, but they will only do that if the price is P3. You guys can see that here, right? The price consumers will be buying Q4 quantity of the vaccine is P3. So if the price support is, but if the suppliers want to supply, Q4 quantity, they would expect, right? They would expect a price, we'll say, of P4. They will expect a price of P4. Is that clear? So that doesn't work. Improving the quantity from Q2 to Q4 and distributing through government hospitals. Quantity from Q4 to Q2 to Q4. And then, no, government doesn't want to get involved. Government doesn't want to be a distributor, seller, or get directly involved in the market. Number 3, providing a support, price support in the amount of C to E. C to E, no. Again, that is the same as P2 to P3. Same as P2 to P3. So that doesn't work. Number 4, introducing a unit price support for the amount of A to B. Yeah, that will work. Based on the prices we have taken, P4, P3, yeah, kind of a deficiency payment if they give, that will work. Then the producers will be willing to, suppliers of the vaccine, producers of the vaccine would be willing to supply at Q4 at the price of P3 because the government is paying them the difference between A and B or P3 and P4 according to the adjustment we have done to the diagram. That should be correct. Implementing a maximum controlled price in the amount of O to P3. If they implement a maximum control price of O to P3, what will happen is the demand will go up to Q4, but the supply will be at Q2 and there will be a shortage of the vaccine. It will make the problem worse. So correct answer number 4. Correct answer number 4. Question 19. Okay, question 19. The following are the demand and supply equations for a particular commodity. QD equals 100. So it's perfectly inelastic demand. The government has decided to purchase, supply is elastic. Government has decided to purchase excess supply after setting a price, flow, okay, of rupees 40 for this good. Okay, which answer shows the impact of this policy on producer surplus and change in social welfare? Producer surplus and change in social welfare. Right. So let's work with the diagram. I think that will be easier for us to do the calculations. Hopefully we will have enough space here. Okay. Sorry. Hopefully we'll have enough space here. Right. So we'll have a perfectly inelastic demand curve. Okay, something like that. And elastic supply curve, uh, something like this. Okay, right. Then we will have a initial equilibrium price here, right? And let's calculate that also. Okay, quantity will be 100. Okay, and then so this we can find because this is the supply curve, no? Supply equation. Okay, what is the minimum supply price? Minimum supply price is A divided by B. A is 50, forget the minus. B is 5. So the minimum supply price will be 10 that we can find. So this is 10 rupees. Are we clear? This is 10 rupees. Then equilibrium price would be, I'll do it here, QD equals QS. QD is always 100. QS is minus 50 plus 5p. So basically, that means 150 equals 5p. So therefore, equilibrium price would be 150 equals 5. Yeah, that's basically 150 divided by 5. That would be 30. Okay. Equilibrium price is 30. Right. So we have it there. Government's price flow is at 40. So we'll show it somewhere here. Right. They are going for 40. Okay. This is 40. And quantity supplied at 40 would be, okay, quantity supplied at 40 would be, if you apply 40 to the supply equation, yeah, can you tell me the value? Apply 40 to the supply equation. Apply price of 40 to the supply equation. The quantity would be 150. Okay. Quantity would be 150. Right. So I think we have the basic values all settled in here. Right. Okay. Basic values all settled in here. Just give me 1 minute, Pata. I'm getting a call that I need to answer from the coordinator. Okay. Right. So yeah, basically all the information we need is now in our diagram. Okay. Let's tackle the requirements. First one, change in producer surplus. So producer surplus, there is infinite consumer surplus here, right? Producer surplus used to be this area, the area I'm coloring, okay, this particular area, this is the producer surplus. Now what has happened is producer surplus has increased up to the whole area that I am now coloring with purple color. Yes or no? So the purple color trapezium is the increase in producer surplus. Purple color trapezium would be the increase in producer surplus because government has agreed to purchase the excess supply. That we can't ignore. That is given in the question. Government has decided to purchase the excess supply. Get it? So because the government is purchasing this excess supply, right? Because the government is purchasing this excess supply, the purple color area will be the producer surplus. So what is the value of that area if we can quickly estimate? So it would be 0 here, right? So 0 to 100, sorry, 0 to, okay, basically 150 plus 100, okay, divided by 2. This whole thing multiply with 40 minus 30, that is 10. So how much do you get, Putta, when you solve this? 1,250, it's an increase, no? We can see the consumer surplus area has become bigger, no? Yeah, rupees 1,250. Increased by 1,250. So answer 4 is incorrect, 3 is incorrect, right? It's either 1, 2, or 5, right? Rupees 1,250, right? Then our second requirement of the question is, okay, second requirement of the question is change in social welfare. Change in social welfare. Now we know in these situations, right? The social welfare includes the deadweight loss, but here there is no deadweight loss area to particularly discuss or describe. So I'll use okay, red color to indicate the social welfare loss, okay, or yeah, SWL, social welfare loss that is created would be this. That is what the government is spending, the whole thing, that is government expenditure. If the question was government expenditure, then that would be 150 minus 100 into 40. That is this whole area, right? But now the change in social welfare, because this particular part, I hope you are with me, this particular triangular part, okay, this particular triangular part producers receive. So we don't take that as a social welfare loss. Social welfare loss is the red color shaded trapezium, okay, the red color shaded trapezium. Right. So can we find the value of the red color shaded trapezium? So that would be 30 plus 40 divided by 2, the whole thing into 50. Whole thing into 50. So when you solve this, you get, again, it's a social welfare is a loss. So there's a decrease of social welfare by 1,750. Is that correct? Yeah, 1,750. Okay. So the correct answer would be number 5. Number 5. Hopefully things are clear. Okay. So there is the purple color trapezium, that is the change in producer surplus, which is an increase. The red color trapezium, that is the social welfare loss, which is a loss. So it's a decrease. Okay. Right. Then, question 20. The following diagram illustrates the manner in which marginal, okay? Right. The following diagram illustrates the manner in which marginal production relevant to the production process behaves. Okay, MP curve is given. What is the accurate statement relevant to this curve? Okay. When variable input increased up to L1, the average product remains higher than the marginal product. Okay, we can actually draw a MP curve also, right? Something like this. So basically MP behavior will be something of this nature. Okay? Sorry, AP behavior, average product behavior will be something of this nature. AP, right? So it says up to L1. So here in this range, you guys can clearly see, right? In this, oh, sorry, pen is, okay. In this range, you can see if I take this distance, we can see this clearly that, so I'll show it here. Marginal product is greater than average product. Okay. In, we'll say in this range. Okay. In this range, if I show it here, the average product is greater than marginal product. We know these things, no? Right. So average product remains higher than, no, that's wrong. Okay. Then when the variable input increase, when the variable inputs are increased greater than L2, total product of the firm increases. Total product of the firm actually starts to decrease if you go beyond L2 because MP becomes negative. That's wrong. The total product reaches the maximum at L2. Yes, at L2 marginal product is 0. At this point marginal product is 0. Right? Marginal product is 0. That means the total product curve has peaked, the highest point. When the variable input increases to L1, law of diminishing marginal product begins. Law of diminishing marginal product begins. From a marginal product point of view, yes, but the law of diminishing marginal product or law of diminishing product, diminishing returns, fully takes effect from this point onwards. That is after the point where MP equals AP. After the point where MP equals AP. Okay. So then when variable inputs are increased from L1 to L2, total product gradually declines. L1 to L2, no. Total product gradually doesn't decline. Total product starts to decline only after L2. So those two are also incorrect. Correct answer number 3. Question 21. Okay, you are given a schedule for a perfectly competitive firm in the short run. Okay? For a perfectly competitive firm in the short run. Right. Output, marginal cost. If total fixed cost, TFC, of the firm is rupees 40, the average total cost, ATC, of producing 4 units will be, total fixed cost is 40, yeah, 4 units. Okay, let's see what we have. Marginal cost is there. They're asking for average total cost. So we know ATC is TC divided by quantity. So TC is T in the short run, TFC plus TVC. TFC, total fixed cost, is given 40. TVC can we find? Then we can find at 4 units total cost. So TVC, we go with the accumulation of marginal cost. Remember, right? The accumulation of marginal cost is at 1 unit, marginal cost is 50. That means variable cost from 1 unit meaning earlier it was 0, and at 0 units, variable cost is 0. Now we are producing 1 unit. So that means variable cost is 50. Marginal cost shows the change in variable cost, right? So 50, then we go to 2 units, 50. Now we have another 30 is added. So 50 plus 30, 80. 50 plus 30, 80. Then we go to 3 units, another 10 is added. 80 plus 10, 90. Then we go to 4 units, another 14 is added. 90 plus 14, 104. 104. So total cost is 144. Total cost is 144. So 144 divided by 4. Okay. So 30. Are we okay? 36? Yes or no? You guys remember the accumulation part? We have learned that. Okay? Yeah. So the concept here was, if I am just to quickly remind this to you, MC is change in TC divided by change in Q. Change in TC can only happen if there is a change in TFC or change in TVC. But we know change in TFC in the short run is 0. Therefore, whenever there is a change in TC, that is always change in TVC. It always equals change in total variable cost. That was the concept there. Right. Correct answer number 5. Which of the following statements are agreeable in relation to the diagram below? Okay. It's clearly perfect competition because AR equals MR curve is perfectly elastic. Okay, the demand curve is perfectly elastic faced by the firm. Yeah. The firm maximizes its profits at the output level, output level at point E. Maximizes profits. Ned. Because the condition is MR equals MC. So this is the MC curve. This is the MR curve. So profit maximization would be at point E, not at E1. Okay, if they are profitable, it's E, not at E1, or they will be, making losses at E. The firm makes an economic profit at the output level of E. Are they making an economic profit at the output level of E? No, because they are, okay, AVC is given. Now, this is average variable cost. So their average total cost will be even higher. Are we clear? The average total cost will be somewhere here. Okay, this will be ATC. Get it? So this is the price or the average revenue, and you have to go much further up. Okay, sorry, change the tip of the pen. Right, you have to go much further up to find ATC. So they are making a massive loss at E. They're making a massive loss at E. Okay. The firm makes an so that's wrong. First is out, second is out. Third one, the firm makes an economic loss at the output level at point E. True. Subnormal profit, massive economic loss. The short run supply curve of the firm is the upward sloping part of the marginal cost curve above E E1, not E, E1. Okay. Then, so that's wrong. The minimum supply price of the firm is P. No, it's P1. So that's also wrong. Right. Okay. Correct answer number 3. Question 23. The vertical distance between the total cost and the total variable cost curve is the vertical distance between TC and TVC. Total cost and total variable cost. Total cost and total variable cost, the difference would be average fixed cost. Is it? No, total fixed cost. Correct answer number 4. Correct answer number 4. Not average fixed cost, it's total cost. So correct answer number 4. Question 24. The profit maximizing output of a firm operating in competitive market is determined at the point where profit maximization, marginal cost is increasing, and when MC equals MR. But marginal cost should be increasing. Answer number 2. Answer number 2. 25. Which of the following is relevant? Which of the following is revealed by the short run production function? What is shown by the short run production function? Okay. The production method remains constant. Yes. So that should be there in the answer. One or more of the input units shall remain constant. Yes, at least one input is a fixed input. The input used are substitutable within another industry. Yes, we say homogeneous variable inputs are used. All production firms operate at similar capacity. No, that is not an assumption we make. Right? So A, B, C are correct. That's answer number 1. Answer number 1. 26. All of the following are excluded when estimating gross value added at basic price, except one, which is the exception. The exception would be we include actually other taxes less subsidies on production. Basic price includes other taxes. Okay. So answer 5. 27. Which of the following household purchases will be counted as a component of gross private investment in estimating a country's gross domestic product using the expenditure approach? Treasury bill, no, that's financial. When we talk about investment, we look at non-financial. Debentures, again, financial. iPad for online. No, that's consumer durable. Newly constructed housing stock, capital, investment. Capital formulation, investment. Okay, question 27, answer number 5. 28. Assume in a given economy, autonomous consumption is 600 million and the marginal propensity to save is 0.2. If gross national disposable income increased by 1,000 million in the economy, consumption spending increased by or will increase by. Okay. Can you guys quickly find marginal propensity to consume? Or since you have MPS, find MPC. Okay, tell me what is MPC. MPC would be 1 minus MPS if you want to derive it. So 0.2, that would be 0.8. How do we estimate MPC? Change in consumption divided by change in disposable income. Correct? No? So this is 0.8. Delta C is what we are looking for. Delta YD is 1,000. Yep. So 0.8 into 1,000 equals delta C. That's 0.8 into 1,000 would be 800 equals delta C. So correct answer is 800. Answer number 3. Answer number 3. Is that clear? 29. The short run aggregate supply curve. How does the short run aggregate supply curve look? It's upward sloping from left to right. Okay. Long run aggregate supply curve is parallel to the vertical axis or the general price axis, if not perfectly inelastic. Short-run aggregate supply curve tends to be downward sloping from left to right. Sorry, upward sloping from left to right. Correct answer number 2. Question 29, correct answer number 2. 30. The transaction demand for money is very closely associated with function. Come on, you guys know this. It's a straightforward question for you. Store value. Right? Sorry, transaction. Medium of exchange. Medium of exchange. Done. Right? Transaction and precautionary, both medium of exchange. If all banks keep only the minimum reserve requirement by law and there are no currency drains, meaning people don't withdraw money, the legal reserve requirement is 10%, SRR is 10%. If a customer deposits rupees 1000 in a current account, what is the maximum amount of increase in the total money supply? So here we are looking for the increase in total money supply. Customer deposits 1000. Okay. Basically, we have to use the multiplier first. So what is the deposit multiplier here, Buddha? If SRR is 10%, deposit multiplier is 10 times. Is it correct? Yeah, 10 times. So what you do is take the change in deposit into the deposit multiplier. Okay, total money supply change. So 1000 into 10, we get 10,000. Okay, now this is where you have to be careful. 10,000 is not the answer because the question is increase in the money supply. Increase in the money supply. Money supply, unless told otherwise, M1 is CP plus DDP. Yes or no? That is money supply. Now what has happened is, okay, what has happened is, if you take these changes, we ask for the change in money supply, no? Change in currency and change in demand deposit. If you take it as changes, currency, 1000 of currency is deposited in the bank. That's what we are doing now. Customer deposit 1000 in a current account. So 1000 rupees 1000 they had as currency. Now they are depositing. So currency decreases by 1000. Plus demand deposits increase by 10,000. What is the net result here? 9,000. The net change is 9,000. Correct answer is not 4. Correct answer is 3. 9,000. Is that clear? 10,000 is the total deposits created. So the money supply changes by 9,000. The money supply includes a currency element also. Think about it. Okay? 32. If the government simultaneously engages in expansionary monetary and fiscal policy, which of the following is the effect on interest rate and unemployment? Interest rate and unemployment. Interest rate, of course, now there is a pull and a push here. So we are not sure. Expansionary monetary policy will decrease interest rates, but expansionary fiscal policy will increase the demand for loans and increase interest rates. So interest rates is definitely indeterminate. So we can't say this with certainty. It's either 4 or 5. Interest rate is indeterminate. Unemployment will decrease. Why? Because the economy is expanding. Economy is expanding. Correct answer number 4. Correct answer number 4. 33. Assume in a bank in a competitive market system, assume in a bank in a competitive banking system are operating with total reserves of 330 million, of which 30 million is excess if money supply of the economy is 3,800 million and the currency with the public is 800 million, the reserve requirement must be. What is the reserve requirement? So basically they have excess reserves also. So take the reserves they have Total reserves are 330. So from this 330 minus 30, okay, then divide it by the deposits they have. So if the money supply is rupees 3,800 and the currency with the public is 800, so that we have to find the deposits. So money supply is CP plus DDP. We want DDP here. The deposit is the base of the calculation for SRR. Money supply is, sorry, 3,800 and currency with the public is 800. Then we are asking how much is DTP. So 3,800 minus 800, this is 3,000. Demand deposit is 3,000. So bring that 3,000 here and we want the percentage. So multiply with 100, then you can find the statutory reserve ratio. 330 minus 30 is 300. 300 divided by 3,000 into 100 is 10%. Okay. Number 3, 10%. Is that clear? So that's 33, answer number 3. Okay. Answer number 3. Yes. Question? No. Okay. Then 34. What are the key policy tools used by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka in conducting its monetary policy at present? Key policy tools. Monetary policy tools, or broadly credit control instruments or methods, we can say, right? Monetary policy instruments. Bank rate, policy rates, Federal Reserve requirement and open market operations, moral suasion policy rates, credit squeeze and Federal Reserve requirements, overnight policy rate and open market operations would be the ideal answer. Number 5. What is the base year of the National Consumer Price Index? NCPI, CCPI both now have the same base year, 2021. Answer number 5. Just know the basket, a number of items in the basket considered for each price index, and if possible, the basket value and things like that. Okay. 36. Which of the following would generate a cost push inflation? A cost push inflation. So the following generate cost push inflation. Right. Let's see. An increase in the price of labor. Yeah, wages increase. Cost of production increases. That should be correct. Hopefully the others you can eliminate. Decrease in the price of electricity, then it doesn't cause inflation. Increase in household consumption is demand side. Decrease in government purchase, again, doesn't cause inflation, even from the demand side. Increase in money supply, demand side. Yeah, answer number 1, 36. 37. When a negative externality exists as a result of production of a good, the socially optimum quantity of output could be achieved by what could be due to correct an externality. Yeah, it's a negative externality in production. We have to control the output, discourage the production. So answer number 3. Okay. Placing limits on the quantity that can be produced. Kind of a quota, some kind of a limitation you have to create, restriction. 38. Marginal cost of allowing one more person to use a pure public good is 0. Marginal cost is 0. Non-rival in consumption. 39. A merit good is a good which? A merit good is a good which? By definition, it provides benefits to both the recipient and the society, external benefits, in addition to the private benefit that is created. Question number 39, answer 1. 40. During the 2023 period, the principal sources of tax revenue of the government of Sri Lanka are, right? You guys might remember there was a certain order we identified. So it's basically income taxes, value-added taxes, and excise duties. Answer number 1. The biggest component of government recurrent expenditure in Sri Lanka in 2023 was. What are the biggest component of government recurrent expenditure? Interest payments. Interest payments. 42. Primary account balance of the budget is defined as the difference between. I have asked these questions many times because I've told you guys, even with the discussions we had in the plugin SEQ plugin sessions, primary account or primary account balance of the government. Actually, it should be primary balance of the government. Okay, there's an error there. Primary balance of the government is a very important indicator of public debt sustainability. So we need to be very good with these concepts and its importance. Right. Correct answer here would be number 2. Okay. Correct answer here would be number 2. Right. Then, okay, just give me 1 minute, but I need to check something on this primary balance. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. So, right. Then question number 43. An appropriate fiscal policy to combat a recession would be, if there's a recession, we need to create a increase in aggregate demand. So we have to go for expansionary fiscal policy. We have to go for expansionary fiscal policy. So expansionary fiscal policy would be number 5, increasing government spending. 44. Comparative advantage means that one country can produce. What is the basic concept of comparative advantage? When a country can produce at a lesser opportunity cost. Answer number 4. Lower opportunity cost than another country. 45. Which of the following items is best included? Sorry, which the following items is not included in the current account of a country's balance of payment. Not included in the current account of the country's balance of payment. What do we not include in the current account of a country's balance of payment? Yeah, option number 4. It goes into the portfolio investment of the financial account. If we get a income from this investment we did in foreign securities, another country's treasury bills, treasury bonds, or government securities, interest income is in the current account under the primary income account, but the investment itself is not in the current account. Answer number 4. Hopefully you guys are clear. 46. In which of the following circumstances would the International Monetary Fund be called in to assist a country? Where is the International Monetary Fund? IMF role is what? They are mainly there to help a country when they have, yes, economic crisis, but mainly a foreign currency, balance of payment related crisis. That's where their expertise are. So answer number 2. Okay, debt crisis, all that is there, but it has to be connected with the BOP is their main area of focus. Okay. IMF doesn't get involved in a country when they have a social issue or civil conflict or something. IMF has nothing to do there. 47. At present, the value of an SDR consists of the weighted average of 5 major currencies. Namely, what are the 5 major currencies in SDR that we consider? Correct answer would be number 5. US dollar, euro, Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, British pound, sterling. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 48. Which set of data given in the table below correctly indicates the approximate sectoral composition of gross domestic product of Sri Lanka at present? Approximate sectoral composition. So the correct answer, I think I have given number 1. Can you guys just check in the answer grid, please? 48. Yes, right. Okay. 49. The World Bank's ease of doing business indicators. Okay. What does it do? Ease of doing business indicates. Ease of doing business indicates. Okay. What does it indicate? Basically, it's a way of trying to understand how easy it is to start and operate a business in a country. So the best answer for me is number 4. Okay. How easy is it to go to a country and establish a business and run the business, operate a business? Question 50. Which of the following is not a major obstacle to attracting foreign direct investment into Sri Lanka? Not an obstacle to attract foreign direct investment. Number 5. Lack of diversity in exports will definitely reduce our export, the potential income we can earn from exports, but it's not going to act as an obstacle for the investors to come into Sri Lanka. Okay? It's a negative thing, but it doesn't affect investment, our ability to attract investment. Right. So those are the 50 questions in the MCQ paper. Then I would like to quickly highlight a few things in the structured paper also. Right. So let's share that too. Hopefully you can see the structured paper now on the screen. Right. Here I'm a bit interested to know if you guys were okay in answering question 1, right? Part B of part 1, a bit important. And part 2, the production possibility frontier, just see if you are okay with the answer for part C. Okay? Go through and make sure you're okay with it. That is the negative rate of economic growth and negative economic growth conceptual differences. Then always social market and socialist, these things are relevant. Then question 2, question 1, I have highlighted part 1, part B, part 2, part C, question 1, okay, part 2, part C, and then part 4. Question 2, I don't specifically have anything to highlight. It's theory. Your theory knowledge need to be very sound with unit 2, as you guys know. So make sure you focus on that. Make sure you know how to explain law of supply, okay? At least with a basic outline of the points. Here. Part C, question 2. Part 1, part C. Question 2, part 1, part C. Practical applications of PED and PES. I feel it's a bit important that you are familiar there. Okay? Practical applications of PED and YED. PED and YED. Yes. PED and YED. Then question 4 question 4 focuses on some important, more than important, if your professor wants to, if the professors really want to test your knowledge of certain concepts, these are questions they can really ask. So question 4, part 1, part B, product differentiation, price discrimination. Product differentiation, price discrimination. I've explained the difference in the answer. So try to go through and see how you understood this. Okay? Then subsection B, so these questions in the plugin program also, the material also I've touched on. Okay. Yeah, these two parts just be okay. The first three parts are from the basic knowledge of money and banking. I'm sure all of you can tackle those. So question 6, part 4 and 5. Question 7, state four major government functions. Yeah. What are we doing to address the inequalities, right? That cause market system failure, to be very correct, in terms of fiscal policy. So that's question 7, part 3. Question 7, part 3. Question 8, international trade related. Here. Question 8, part 2. Question 8, part 2. Okay, question 8, part 2. Question 9, part 2. Put some effort there. Question 9, part 2. Sri Lanka has been able to attain and maintain a current account surplus in 2023 and 2024 of the balance of payments. So, what are the reasons leading to that? Okay, how did we achieve that? Okay, so you have to know. Question 9, part 2. Complete answer is given. Right, and also part 3. Question 9, part 2 and part 3 about official reserve assets. Part 2 and part 3. Question 9. Question 10, just be updated on these concepts of expenditure switching and expenditure reduction. Okay. And part 2. Question 10, part 1 and part 2. Question 10, part 1 and part 2. Okay. Question 10, part 1 and part 2. Right. So with that, I will be concluding this mock exam number 4 answer discussion session. Right. So we will now we have done in season 2 of the mock exam series about 2 papers that have 2 mock exams that are focused on unit up to unit 10 of the syllabus. So I might do one more up to unit 10, and then we will also focus on some mock exams to cover the 12 units of the syllabus. Okay, right. So with that, we will conclude the discussion session.